Hello, everyone. My name is Argelia. I normally go by Leah, and nice to meet everyone. Today, I will be talking about how the human body heals itself, and hopefully, this will help you guys better understand if you've never really thought about it, just how all of that happens. So, let's think a little bit about if, you know, I'm sure all of us have gotten a paper cut at some one time or another, um, but perhaps maybe something even more like scraping your knee or getting a burn while cooking, perhaps spraining your ankle. And usually it gets better within a few days, but we never really think about how that happens, right? Um, well, today I will be discussing or informing you a little bit on the process of healing. So during my research, um, and according to an article from Dr. Mahavir Singh, I hope I'm saying that right, there are three phases to healing. The first phase, well, let's call them stages. The first stage is usually split up into two. So in my other research, um, it does mention that there's four stages, but it's just because that one first stage is split into two. So, according to the Cleveland Clinic, wound healing doesn't happen all at once. Instead, the body goes through four organized stages, which I have just mentioned. Each stage has a different job, but together they help stop the bleeding, protect the wound, rebuild damaged tissue, and make the injured area stronger over time. So before talking about the stages, let's first talk about or define what a wound is. So a wound is an injury that damages the skin or body tissue. So say you fell, you scraped your knee, that's a wound. You know, the scrape, that's a wound. You got a paper cut, even something so small, that's a wound. Um, it can be something small or something more serious, like a surgical um, cut, incision. So the first stage is called hemostasis, which means stopping the bleeding. This stage begins almost immediately after you're injured. The blood vessels tighten to slow the bleeding, and tiny blood cells called platelets stick together to form a clot, which is like a natural bandage that protects the wound, and it helps you from uh, having too much blood loss. The second stage is inflammation. During this stage, the area may become red, swollen, warm, or tender. While these signs might seem concerning, they might worry you, they're usually a normal part of the healing. The body sends white blood cells to the wound to remove damaged tissue and fight germs that could cause an infection. So you have to have like good hygiene to avoid infections. The next stage would be proliferation, which means new growth. During this stage, the body starts rebuilding the damaged area. New skin cells grow over the damaged area, over the wound. Tiny blood cells form, and the body produces more collagen. So, collagen is a protein that gives strength and support to the skin and helps rebuild the injured tissue. You don't necessarily have to have an injury or a wound to produce collagen. Collagen is also like elasticity in our skin. Um, and over time, as we age, we start losing collagen. So, collagen is very important. The final stage is called remodeling. So, during this stage, the new tissue becomes stronger and more organized. This process can take weeks or even months, depending on the injury. Sometimes injuries can take even years, even over a year, um, to to completely heal. Um, it just all usually depends on just how well you take care of it and how well you take care of your body. Um, If the wound was deeper, a scar may form because the repaired tissue isn't exactly the same as the original skin. So, if you've ever scraped your knee, you're probably seen all these stages without realizing it. The wound bleeds, becomes red, forms a scab, and eventually new skin appears underneath. That's your body working through each stage of the healing. So, right there, that was about the four stages. Um, let's just briefly discuss the different factors that can help or slow healing. Different factors include, nutrition. So it matters what you put into your body, that can help it repair faster, better. That goes along with like proteins, vitamins, um, zinc, um, other things that may help or slow healing is how much sleep you get. If you get adequate sleep, it'll help a lot because your body usually repairs and does a lot of work, health wise when you're sleeping. Hydration, proper hydration. We need to have enough water in our bodies, to just give it oxygen and move nutrients through the blood. Blood flow and oxygen are very important, and that goes along with the hydration, which I just mentioned, that it helps, all of the blood flow better, and it gives you oxygen. Smoking, if you have a smoking habit, that's really not good. It delays, um, the process of healing. Um, Diabetes, if you have diabetes, your wounds might take a little longer to heal. Um, just because your immune system is it's not the greatest, because diabetes affects high blood pressure and blood vessels, nerves. Stress can also delay the healing process, because stress can affect, how much sleep you get. It can cause inflammation in the body. um, Proper wound care, hygienic wound care. um, you have to keep it clean, keep it from getting an infection. So that was just a brief discussion on my part, or um to so that was just a quick rundown on, how the body heals itself. But a person should get medical advice if a wound is deep, um, or if it was caused from an animal bite or a dirty object. Don't try to fix that at home. Try to get medical help, professional medical help. So, in conclusion, I have explained these stages, how important the immune system, is in the process, and the healthier your immune system, your nutrition, your adequate sleep, um, the faster your wounds will heal. Um, the next time you get a small cut or scrape, just remember that our bodies begin working right away. Even though we cannot see every cell doing its job, our bodies are constantly protecting us and repairing the damage. So, to me, that makes the healing process one of the most interesting things about the human body. And thank you for listening.